I'm looking forward to the ice skating competition. I love the ice skating because they are amazing. I just love it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I wish that I would have the opportunity to go, but obviously there's not going to be spectators, especially foreign spectators.
I don't really think I'll be watching them. I like the Summer Olympics.
I believe that they have become very commercial and also it has been used to do political propaganda.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Olympics is always a good time where nations can kind of gather together. It's a unique opportunity for the athletes to gather some perspective, to have conversations that they normally wouldn't be able to have in normal arenas and normal settings.
What China's doing to the, I think they're called Uyghurs, that's just horrible. Being re-educated, it's just horrible. And I think that's a huge human rights issue, the abuse. And then what's going on in Tibet, I mean, it's just horrible. However, you can't deny the athletes their opportunity to win medals. I think it's a good idea. As long as the athletes can go and compete, it's fine for the diplomatic boycott.
I think it's awful, but I just don't know if a diplomatic boycott of the Olympics is going to have any impact on that.
It feels more symbolic because, as I understand, the athletes are still going, but there's not a diplomatic entourage as well. So it feels like we're still going. It's just a couple extra staff members aren't going, so it's hard to say like there's much of a meaningful difference there.
But I think human rights are always going to be linked to the Olympics, and I think it's a good opportunity to raise awareness. I think U.S. broadcasters should mention what's going on in China, but I don't think that that's necessarily a reason not to hold the Olympics in China, and I would not agree with like a full boycott of the Olympics because I do think it's important to have this dialogue, and I think it's a good opportunity to have discussions about human rights in China and what can be done better. And
I think human rights is an important issue, and I don't think that the way the people are being treated is fair. And I think that you have to stick up for people in every country, even if it's not your own country.
Well, I guess I think the bubble that they're using for Beijing and COVID is actually less strict than what they're using for the rest of the country. I just think it's a very different approach, and China has succeeded in keeping the cases very low, but at the same time it's come at other costs as well. I have a lot of Chinese friends here that really can't go home. They'd have to quarantine for so long. A lot of athletes have training regimens that are very specific, so I can imagine it's going to affect a lot of different athletes. But at the same time, if everyone gets COVID, then you can't hold the games anyway, so it might just be part of what needs to happen in order to hold the games in the first place.
I think it's good. It protects the general public, and it also protects the athletes. They should have strict measures.
I think that's good. I think that whatever will prevent the spread of COVID is what they should do.
我觉得每个国家有它自己的防疫政策吧。那如果是在中国举行冬奥会的话，作为运动员，我觉得也需要去遵守这些规则。那首先对于运动员来说，如果说染上病，那肯定是不好的。那对于运动员来说，也是非常不好的一个负面的影响。所以，国家如果说采取更严格的措施的话，那可能对于运动员是一个保障，然后对于本国人民也是一种保障。
One thing I do kind of worry about is maybe if athletes try to speak their mind or share their opinions on some of the issues that are going on. So I don't know, maybe there's a athlete that's Muslim and they want to speak about some of the horrible things that are going on in Xinjiang. What happens if they start getting treated poorly or get censored? there's definitely concerns about privacy and freedom of speech that I think have to relate to those athletes that go to China, but I'm not concerned about their safety per se.
I just think that they have security, and I think that they would have investigated where they were going and what they were doing, and I just don't think anything would happen to them. I could be totally wrong, but that's just what I think. Especially at such a public event, I don't think it would be smart for the Chinese government to do something like that.
That might be a risk for some people, but I think with an event as high profile as the Olympics, I don't think any country would be interested in doing anything like that. China or anywhere else. I think that there's an understanding that the games have, a reverence to them that, you shouldn't be doing anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's horrible, the censorship. But you're in China. What do you expect? I'm sorry, I don't know enough about the foreign policy, but they're in China, so they have to be careful. I wouldn't take my laptop or my cell phone to China, and I would respect their policies and their culture.